Hey everyone, Player Sam. Welcome to an inbox review. So today we're going to be reviewing Manufacturer Hero's 12 scale Lancia Delta Integrale. So I've been watching my buddy Jamie B build one of these for a while. The Alpha 155 he's bought. I've always kind of looked at these things and thought, wow, I'd like to build one. They're expensive, very expensive. I got this on eBay for, I think it was £530 posted. I got hit with £100 customs fees. It's a £640 odd kit by the time I had fuel and that from going to get it from the depot. It's an expensive kit, a very expensive kit. I sold some of my possessions to buy this to justify the cost of this kit because it's the most I've ever single-handedly spent on a model kit by a long shot. But it's arrived. It took 3 weeks to come from France. No problems at all. And we're going to look through the box today. So I plan to review it, upload the review, and then possibly start it very, very soon. So stand by, stay with us, and you might see this built over the next 10 years, however long it takes to get through. I've had a very quick look in the box. I've not had a proper look through yet. But I'm going into this with a little bit of trepidation, thinking, what on earth have I let myself in for? So you can come and join me on this. It's going to be a long review, no idea how long, review of this epic kit. All right, so let's go. Everyone hold hands, pray for me, get a cuppa, put your feet up. Let's have a look through the box. Hey everyone, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications, get notified of our latest videos, give the video a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and leave a comment. I do read and appreciate every comment you guys and girls leave behind. I may not reply to them all, but they are all appreciated. And there's a link in the description of the video that takes you to a big long list of all handy videos and a lot of the products I use in my videos. You now have the chance to support the video content creation by using Patreon or the PayPal me link in the description down below. All the videos will always remain free to watch. This is just your chance to help support the videos. Right then, so this is probably one of the most awkward kits I've ever reviewed. Not in size, just a sheer amount of parts, so bear with me. I'm not moving my camera because this is all set up perfect for filming day to day. So bear with me getting all the bits out of the box. I'm going to open it, we're going to have a quick look through, and then I'm going to go through everything methodically as well as I can. Now, I don't intend to rush through this. I'm hoping to take my time. So this is going to be a long review. Alright? So bear with me and we'll get to it. So, right at the top, I've had a very quick look at this, but I haven't really gone through it in detail. We've got a nice little plastic case, which is for the photo etch, decals, some of the belts and what have you. So we're going to pop that over to one side. We've then got some bubble wrap. It's pretty well wrapped up. I would say, I honestly would have liked to have seen a little bit more bubble wrap. I have opened this, but like the body with the chassis in and a few other parts, we've got a whole bag full of metal bits, belts and hoses and what have you. The body was wrapped in this with a bit of tape. I would have liked to have seen some maybe foam in here to protect it a little bit better. It is, you know, a £600+ kit. Not heavy, but price-wise. And I would have liked to have seen a little bit more protection in there for the resin. That's one criticism I do have. It's a nice sturdy box. And the bubble wrap's okay. In there we have the body shell. We'll get all this out in a minute and have a look. My goal here is to empty this box as good as I can. We've got some vac form parts here as well, so they can all go over there. We've got our tyres, which are printed with Michelin. Again, we'll get to those in a little bit. We've got a bag full of turned rims. Everyone likes a nice rim, don't they? Ooh. And then we've got a bag of resin. Now again, they're on a tree. But I think I really would have liked to have seen it packaged a little bit nicer. Just a little bit more protection. That's just me. And then in the bottom of here, we get rid of the rustly bubble wrap. We've got all the white metal parts. So we'll get to those in a bit. I'm going to put those over there out of the way just so I can get the box out of the way. And what we'll do is, now we can see a little bit better, we'll get the body shell out and a few other bits. So in here is the body shell. few of the other parts. Now, for 12th, it's not the biggest car. It's nowhere near as big as the R32 Skyline we did. That thing was huge compared to this, but she's still a good old beast. So we've got roughly on the body shell, it's a foot long. It's just over a foot long, all by itself. Obviously, we've got the opening bonnet, boot, doors, we've got the roof scoop, etc. It's really well molded. Now, this kind of looks like plastic. It's really weird. I'm pretty sure it is resin, but it really does look like plastic. It is that well done. It's beautiful. We do have a little bit of like flash. It's not really flash. It's just like whispers of cast resin on the side, but it's all nice and straight, which is really good. All the A pillars are good. B pillars are good. C pillars. Scribe parts aren't too bad, and obviously we've got all the arches to put on here on the wide arch, but overall, like I say, it's straight, which is very, very important. This is fragile. You do not want to drop this on the floor. So that is me talking to myself going, don't drop it on the bloody floor. So I'm going to pop it in that box out of the way. So that's the main body. Like I say, it's not the biggest. It is a hatchback at the end of the day, and it's a 80s hatchback. Now, we're talking today about the type of this. For me, this is the epitome of 80s rallying. Although I'm a Ford fan at heart, and for me, the Mark 1, 2 Escorts, Sierra, Escort Cosworths, RS200 are my favourite cars. Of all the cars, this is the epitome of rallying for me, the Evolution Integrale. Mainly because of the beautiful Martini scheme. Sega Rally, loved Sega Rally as a kid, still love it as an adult. And for me, it's just an iconic rally car that for me just sums up 80s rallying for me. While it's not the most prettiest one or my favourite one, for me, it's the car that always holds up with a special place in my heart. So that's good building it because it gives me a bit of passion and a bit of drive. And it's got a Martini scheme. And let's face it, anything Martini, Castrol, cigarettes, Benson Hedges, anything like that, the bats, all those schemes, they're iconic to the 70s and 80s, banned now sadly, and they're just great looking schemes, and it does add another kind of level to something if you build it, if you've got a little bit of passion to it, especially if you looked at it as a kid as well. So that's the body shell. We've got the floor pan here, again, another big piece of resin, and again, really well cast. Very, very nice. Got a little bit of detail underneath, which is probably about right for what the car was. Wheel arches are there again, and then a little bit of detail in the boot, and then the floor pan itself, which being a rally car isn't going to be the most interesting. Hefty bit of resin, certainly is. Again, nice and straight and flat, barely any wobble in that whatsoever, so hopefully that won't cause any issues at all. We've got some turret mounts on the suspension there. Not a huge amount of detail, but I'm going to guess these weren't all that much detailed inside anyway. And then we can open up our first bag. Now, I've not opened any of these up to have a look, so I have no idea what's in them. So we'll start with the first one. Now, I also need to go through and check off all these parts. Oh, they are nice seats. Look at them. 2 different seats. Very, very nice. So I need to check off all these parts as well. Skid plate, protection, the engine block. That's a hefty bit of resin. That's beautiful. We've got our front arches there, which we can have a little trial fit, can't we? So they locate there and there, like so. A bit of a gap there, haven't we, between the door and what have you, but whether that's supposed to be there, I do not know. Where's the other one? Not as bad on the other side. So I was talking to Luke before, Scale Motor, about this review, thinking, how far in depth should I go? Do I start dry fitting bits to see if they fit? I think I kind of want it out of interest. You know, I know this is going to be a short review, so we might as well have a little look while we're here, mightn't we? It must be rude not to. That one's got a little bit of a gap that side, for sure. And the other one, definitely has a little bit more of a gap. So you can see where we're going to have to work on this. That's going to need a little bit of tweaking. Let's get that in a little bit, because that's a much bigger gap. I mean, these cars would have been terrible in the day anyway, but I think it's definitely something we need to work on. And I think if we sand back that pin or drill a hole there a little bit deeper, I think that would sit in there a tad more. There is a little bit of a gap, but we're not going to start messing around with bits now. But there is a gap. If you look down the back, see there, look, there is a gap. And I think with a little bit of a drill in there to deepen that part will push in there better. But we also need to try the bonnet as well to see the fit of that. So there's going to be a lot of trial and error to see how we get things to fit. So there's our side arches. There's two of them. Again, really nicely cast. Very, very nice. So as we can see, they do mirror each other. So hopefully no issues there. We've got two seats, which are beautiful. Really nice. Just need a little bit of clean up, a few wisps of resin here and there inside, but nothing too bad. We've got two seats, we've got drivers and co-pilots as well. So two different seats. Nice bit of detail on the back. Where obviously it will be, what will it be? Be composite on this, fiberglass, wherever it will be. So yeah, really, really nice seats. Not bad at all. Once you get those, probably going to be flock these, aren't they, to get the texture because of the size of them. Because they are like 80 mil high, the largest one. So they're good all sizes. I think flocking maybe to scale on that, if not maybe embossing powder. I think this is something we need to test on a test subject. We'll see. But nice seats, really, really nice. We've got the spare wheel. Iconic wheels. I forget what wheels these are now. They're speed lines, aren't they? If I remember right. I'm sure they are. So we've got a few wisps of resin in the centre. So just a quick clean up. Got new lights now as well for filming, so I can bring things up to camera. Look, and everything stays lit. Never used to, does now. Hey, see? Improvements on the videos, hopefully. We have what looks to be... Okay, no idea what that is. We'll have to look at that in a bit again. But the resin's nicely done. It's got a few wisps. It's going to need a bit of clean up. We've got a bulkhead, possibly. Yeah, possible bulkhead. We've got a part of the engine. That's gearbox, actually, isn't it? That's gearbox. And the engine itself as well. Some nice detail on the side of the engine. So once this is all painted up, we give it a little bit of a wash. That's going to look really, really good. That's quite nice. Gearbox got some nice detail on it as well. If the camera to focus, there we are. So some nice detail there too. Looks really, really good. And then we have, I'm going to guess that's fuel tank, and that's going to be the cell. Now I can feel a stickiness to these, so this is all going to need once you get all these pore plugs cut off, you have to clean all this up, and I would recommend using soapy water, hot soapy water, toothbrush, give it all a good clean, belt and braces, dry it off, hit it with some IPA, UMP airbrush cleaner, and that way you know it's fully degreased. But I can feel that, especially on those parts there, they are actually sticky. So there is a release agent on there. And this other tank, is it a header tank possibly? Don't know. But again, just needs a little bit of cleanup. So you can see the points there that come off the pore plug. get to focus. Go on, focus. Just needs a little bit of clean. Run over with a sander, really easy. And then this skid plate for underneath the chassis as well. Again, nice big piece of resin. And again, you can feel that stickiness of whatever's on there. Now, got another part here as well. So off camera when I'm done, I'm going to go through and itemize all these parts. And they're all going to be put in storage cases where they are safe and out of the way. So here, that to me looks like lower dashboard. Yeah, there we go. So that's our lower dash. So we've got instrument panel holes. Again, quite basic instruments and dashboards on these back in the day. They were basically homologated road cars, weren't they? So they probably do share most of the interior with their road going counterparts, like dashboards and that. Obviously the seats and that aren't, but for the most part the dashboards and that will be. So not a whole lot going on there, but there will be bits to stick on this. We'll have a look at those later, and obviously we'll look through the instructions in a bit. We've got a bumper, that's the front one, that's the rear one, and again, beautifully made. A little bit of cleanup needed just to get some of the wisps of resin kind of residue behind. A little bit of cleanup here where they've been poured. So you've got to be gentle with this stuff. It's not as flexible as plastic. It will snap, so don't be putting loads of pressure on it when you're sanding and that. Just really take your time and you should be good to go. Where this attaches on the body, it's going to be around there somewhere, isn't it? So I'm not quite sure. I'll have to figure that one out. The rear bumper, again, nicely done. A little bit of recessed detail on there. And overall pretty clean. Just need to cut off these hole plugs here. Give it a run over, give it all the degrease, and you'll be good to go. It's absolutely spot on there. And then this looks like the engine, bulkhead, firewall, what have you, I think. Let me have a look in here. That should fit in there, does it? It will, I'm not going to force it. I think that is going to live in there like that, basically. So again, no problems there at all. So I'm going to put these over there out of the way. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through section by section and then stop, have a little tidy up, and come back. Right then, there's that one out of the way. Let's try this one. So, there's some more parts in it. Very crinkly, noisy bag, isn't it? Really noisy. There we go. Like I said, I think the packing could be a little bit better. Presentation of some of the parts, especially on larger parts like these doors and things like that. I think it could have been a lot better. So there's the door. It's going to be that side. Okay. Again, not too bad. The two doors, they are opposites as well. So there's quite a bit of detail inside. I've seen in the instructions that loads of parts of these, absolutely tons to go together. So we've got the other rear wing now, which is gonna. How do these go? Goes the other way, you pillock, dummy, aren't you? I think they're definitely all going to need a bit of a drill out, aren't they? Let me just faff around with it and get it in place for you. Yeah, they're going to need a bit of adjustment, but don't look that bad. This is all going to need a lot of test fitting and dry fitting to make sure that all this fits. You're going to have to get all these wings on, the bumpers on, just test fitted, doors on, bonnet, boot lid, everything to make sure all this is going to fit together. Otherwise, it's going to be a frigging nightmare. It really is. Sorry to swear, although it's not swearing. But the other side, which is still attached to the tree. The other part here, not even going to pretend to know what it is. This looks like a kind of pump, is it? I don't know. And these angle pieces here. And something else. I'm not going to pretend to know what the parts are. I haven't got a clue. But the wings are alright. They're not too bad. Fenders, if you want to call them, then, depending on where you're from. But you are going to need to have some fettlement in making sure this fits together. So I'm trying to figure out what things are. So these are in the door cards, as you can see. They all look good. We've got various other components and parts here. Again, what are they? I have absolutely no idea. But they've got a nice little bit of detail to them. Not too bad at all. Yeah, not too bad. They look good. Certainly going to look nice while washing them. Those are nice parts. They really are. Like I say, all is going to be cut off later. I'll put in a box. We've got side skirts there as well for the body. This thing, absolutely no idea what it is. But it's there. And then this. I'm trying to figure out what this is. I'm having trouble figuring out what it is. We're going to look at the instructions in that in a bit and have a look and try and figure out what it is. But no problems there really at all. They're not too bad. The skirts, again, going to be test fitted along with all the other body panels. I think that's the key thing before we commit to any paint on this, is making sure all these parts are able to close up, because we don't be adjusting it all when we've got it painted, because it'll ruin all our hard work. So it's going to be a case of a lot of fettling, test fitting, and faffing about probably to make sure everything is going to fit in place properly. White metal we'll get to in a bit. We're going to just go for all these other parts. Now, we've got some vac form parts here, which I'm assuming are for windows and whatnot. I'm not going to open them up because I want to keep them sealed. But basically, we've got two large ones in there. So the side windows, I can see what they are now. Side and rear window. So you've got the whole vac form, and then just inside, if you can see it, there's a slight demarcation on it where they need cutting out. They are going to be grey fun. So the two sides and the back window there. The windscreen is here. There we go. There's the windscreen, vac form again. So again, I'm trying to show you that little indentation there. I don't want to open them. If you look just there, you'll see it. There it is. So they're the lines you have to use for judgment. Probably painting, is it? I don't know. Have to figure that one out. But anyway, there's the windows. Wheels. Let's whip these out and have a little look. Oh wow, they are beautiful. Look at them. They weigh a ton as well. They are unbelievably heavy. They are very, very nice turned aluminium. Really nice. It's the same size all round, so four of the same wheels. Very nicely made. Obviously we're going to paint them, but very, very nice. Lovely. Really, really pretty. So there's just four of those. The spare one is resin. That'll be in the boot or trunk, depending on where you're from in the world. And they're going to look spot on. Get that closed up and out of the way. Tyres, obviously we've got 5. So I'll whip one out and I'll show them. So marked on one side with Michelin. As you can see, they are slicks. We've got a little bit of a plug here, so make sure that goes at the bottom if you can. And yeah, just plain old tyres. They smell very rubbery. Definitely very rubbery. Again, on slick. So hopefully this is slammed. It's not like the Hasegawa kit, where it's like an off-roader, but it's got slicks on it. So again, not too bad at all those. There's a whole bag of bits there, which I think we'll get to in a little bit. Let's get through all these white metal bits first. Let's just move some of that. So there's the resin, and there's the wheels and tyres. So there's that. So like I said, the resin's pretty clean. Hopefully it's not going to cause us a load of issues. I really hope it isn't. There's a lot of heavy stuff in here in this bit. It really is. So 2 big loads of white metal here. So, like I say, I'm going to sort all this later. It is all nicely and safely away. Let's move some bags. Excuse the rustlings. Pardon me. But yeah, I think I'll be looking for some more storage to add to the arsenal for some of this stuff. So I've got 2 big packs of this stuff. Let me zoom out. You can see it weighs an absolute ton. There is anything and everything in it. This is where this is going to take a while. We're already half hour in, and this is going to take quite some time to get through. So we've got separate bags. I'm going to try and separate a touch if I can. There we go, a nice bit of card. So let's start with one of the bigger ones. Now, I'm going to go through as much as I can. Obviously, I don't want to be here for hours. I certainly want to have a look at these parts. Now, a lot of you keep asking how I'm going to clean these up. I've no idea. If I could afford a tumbler, I'd get one. I can't. I haven't got £300 to spend on a tumbler. So I'm a bit stuck, and this is all probably going to have to be cleaned up by hand. So we've got a whole multitude of parts. There's the front grille, that synonymous grille from Lancia. And again, because it's white metal, it's very moldable. You're going to have to figure this out yourself to straighten it all. But it's quite high quality. It looks good. It's molded really well. Well, cast really well. Poured. White metal's poured, isn't it? Of course it is. So, yeah, looking all right. Don't know what that bit is. You've got the roller cage. You're going to need a lot of cleanup. There's a lot of like excess flash on the parts. And again, you've got the chance to straighten it should you need to. You've got lots and lots of parts. I have no idea what they are, but they're all pretty well made. They do feel a bit greasy as well. We've got a box of some sort. Got a steering wheel. Very boring steering wheel on the old 80s cars. Nothing super spectacular in this. But again, part of the car. We've got this thing. Again, no idea. There's definitely an oily feeling to these things. Got a little panel as well. So lots and lots of parts. There's the cam cover for the engine. Nice bit of detail there. So yeah, I think for me, the cleanup of these, I'd probably go hot soapy water, toothbrush, IPA, UPA brush cleaner again, and just give them a real good scrub up. Probably the best I can do. But there's certainly a lot of parts. The grille, which has got a little bit of damage on it, but this can all be straightened out because white metal is very, very bendy. So we just put it down flat, straighten that out, and then get something in between the louvres or louvres if you're Del Boy, and straighten those out. So yeah, it's going to take some work to do. That's the upper spoiler for the roof. So again, you're going to have to spend your time straightening all this, getting it all lined up. It's unbelievably greasy. It's horrible. It's really horrible. Like I say, front grille there as well. That will go in front of that. It goes in front of that, doesn't it? The other way. The other way, you silly Billy. That'll go like that. So again, you have to straighten it all up and glue it in place. And then we're on to this. So we've got frame, some sort of grille. No idea. Like I said, I don't know the part where I'm looking at all. Is this an inner wheel arch? No. What is that? That's an intake, isn't it? Of some sort. There we are. So I don't know what the best thing to be to glue white metal together. Is it going to be like epoxy? I don't know. There's a timing belt cover. That's nice, isn't it? I like that. Nice bit of detail. But these are all going to need cleaning up. And I know the tumblers are the best way, but like I say, if I could afford 300 quid, I'd go and buy one. I do plan to build more of these, hopefully, if this one goes okay. So fingers crossed. Another grille as well. That one's a bit straighter than the other one. Center console, I'm assuming this is, or is it dashboard? It's one or the other. Might be dashboard, that one actually. Got a few buttons built in, as you can see. And then the last couple of parts out that bag here as well. Nice bit of detail, bulkhead detail there as well. And that's that bag. Right then, second bag. We'll start with this one. Okay, we're going to speed up a little. I'm not going to focus too long. I'm going to pick up all the important bits because there's so many parts of this. And I know it's going to be a lengthy review, but there's a lot in here. So straight off, we've got drive shafts, all different angles. Suspension struts. Look at them. They're quite nice. I do like them. Nice bit of detail on those. They are lovely. Drive shafts are here, two different types, front and rear. So there is a seam through the centre of everything, which you are going to clean off. But hey, par for the course. Brake discs. Cross-drilled brake discs. Again, just be steel discs on this back in the day. Got hubs. Some nice detail there as well. Get a focus eventually. Hello. Hello camera. There we go. So again, nice bit of detail there. Gonna guess that's a fire extinguisher of some sort. Oh, window wipers. No PE window wipers. Look, Philip's going to be gutted. There's no PE window wipers. We've got white metal instead. Lots of hard mud, suspension components, brake calipers, Brembo. Oh, nice Brembo caliper. As you can see there as well. More calipers. Lots of little bits. We've got some angled, oh god, hose joint unions. As you can see there, would it be better replacing those for resin? Possibly. Not too bad, I suppose. And then lots of, so we've got some seatbelt buckles for the seatbelts. Obviously there. As well. So part of the seatbelt. And then we've got the brake coolers. Actually, not the brake coolers. That's the brake cooler. That is the actual wheel rim itself, which, so you just made that look a little bit squished. That's a little bit squishy just because it's not straight. Yeah, they're going to need a little bit of manipulation, but they're going to be hidden behind those coolers anyway. Like so. So not too bad at all. A little bit of straightening needed there. We have some bolt heads, which you can see there. Cool. Another fire extinguisher thingamabobbles. More calipers. Windy winders. Look at that. Windy winders for the doors. Not the band, the car. So again, very nice. Got some bits, I don't know what they are. Suspension components, more wheels, more brakes, more bolt heads. Window wipers, there's the window wiper arm. That's a lot easier than photo etch, isn't it? Oh yeah. Yeah, baby. What else have we got? Seatbelt release buckles are there as well. So again, no problem. Lots more of those angled hose joints. Hangled? Lots of them. Lots more. They're not cylinder ball heads, are they? What are these depicting? Are they road rail nuts? I suppose they could be, couldn't they? Lots of other bits, all sorts in here. A whole plethora of bits. There's the back of the calipers as well. So again, this is just another bag. There's 7 bags I think there is in total of white metal. So there is a fair bit of it, but it is very greasy. My hands are greasy. There's probably a bit of dust kind of, well it is, you see my fingers are going grey. So obviously white metal is not the nicest of metal, so make sure you wash your hands after handling it. And this, again, give it a good soapy hot wash. Hit it with some IPA or European airbrush cleaner is perfect. That's what I use on all my stuff to degrease. Obviously it is alcohol based, so it does clean really, really well. But yeah, lots of parts here. My god, this is where kits like this get quite daunting, because you finally get to see the sheer amount of parts in them. But then you've got to think about in the long run about what a lovely detailed build it will end up being. And I think that's the thing here. This is not going to be a quick build. This is a 6-month plus build for me. Easily, this is going to be built side by side with projects. Like we'll start at the 850 BMW, and we'll start this. Then we'll go back to the bike. Then end up finishing the bike and the BMW, and then carry on with these. There's no rush for this. This is a kit. All kits should be a journey. There's no need to rush a kit. Why are you in a rush to finish something so fast? You should enjoy it. And for the £640 this thing's cost me, I want to enjoy this. I do. It's probably going to be a really frustrating build and a bit head scratching, but I'm probably going to enjoy that as well. Like I say, we can build other things in the meantime as well. So hopefully we can keep our interest going with other stuff, and this can just be picked at as and when we want. It's the beauty of kits like this, long-term builds. I've done a few in the past. They are satisfying. I was literally just in the hangout chatting with my buddy Andy Callis, talking about the Special Hobby Tempest, and what a great kit that was to build. And that wasn't an easy kit at all. That's a short run kit, but one of my most enjoyable builds I ever did. It really, really was. Right then, got a whole bag full of bits. I've got absolutely no idea what they are. I'm going to guess that's a cooling fan cover for the radiator. I'm going to guess it is anyway. We've got a... Ooh, that looks like a mass airflow sensor, the MAF, with an intake. We've got another sucky, blowy, intakey thing there as well. A angled army thing. I'm not pretending to know what they are, guys. I am not. There's the turbo. A nice little turbo there as well. Not sure what turbo is on these. It'll be a T3, will it? More bits. We've got more engine components. So that is the fuel injection system. Am I right? I think I am. That'll be the fuel injection. No idea what fuel injection system these had back in the day. We've got a manifold. I'm gonna take a bet that's exhaust. Again, all needs cleaning up, all needs straightening. So you're gonna have to dry fitting this kit is going to be one of the major things you're going to have to do to make sure everything fits, everything lines up. Oh, there's the instruments, the switchgear for the cockpit as well. Really nice. Sump. Is that the sump? Could be the sump. I think it's the sump. And then lots of other bits which no idea what they are. Cooling fan. There we go. There's our little cooling fan. That looks like a starter motor to me. And then we got a whole plethora of other parts. That's a steering column with the instigators and windy wipers. So not windy winders, windy wipers and instigators to tell people which way you're instigating to go. That looks like the cover, inspection cover. That is that for the fuel tank, maybe. Another one there. Interior mirror, center console. I know, ashtray, cassette holder for the interior. More manifolds for the engine. And that right there looks like the other part. I don't know. Hard to tell. Yes. We'll have a look through the instructions in a bit. That's going to be the last thing we go through. But like I say, these are definitely cleaned up. You see my fingers starting to change colour. There's a lot of residue and dust on them, and with that, with the combination with the resin release agent, it's a contaminant you don't want to get your paint onto, because your paint either won't stick or it'll peel off when you're masking or doing stuff, and obviously we don't want to do that. But what I'm going to do after I've done the review is itemise all the parts, make sure they're all there, tick them off, and then I'm going to go through one day and section all these parts into corresponding sub-assemblies I am hoping to do. So this is going to be a different way of working than I normally do. So I'm going to have to figure out the way I'm going to build this, i.e. what kind of process I'm going to use, because I normally start with the bodywork. Bodywork's terrifying, to be honest, because that's probably going to give me the most grief. So I don't know, to just start with the engine, get the engine going and just get into it, and then pick up the body as we go, or do we just get on with the body and start fitting it all together? I'm in no two minds that it's going to be a pig of a kit to do, but I'm hoping it'll be a nice build eventually one day. Right, we've got some pulleys for our auxiliary belts and what have you, I'm assuming. There as well. We've got some things. We've got some connectors and whatnot there. No idea what they are. We've got some stuff here. Is that a radio? Looks like it. CB radio on the cars. There's our clutch and brake assembly there as well, with some hose connector thingy bobs. Oh, they always look like battery terminals to me. In the back, so nice. Some more unions and what have you here. Again, no idea. I'm taking pure guesses to what these are. Boxes of valves. That looks like an alternator. Little bits, little trumpety bits, pointy things. Gear shifter. Oh, his knob's a bit bent. That's painful, isn't it? Bit of a bendy knob. So again, all be straightened up. More connectors. Lots and lots. It's going to be a really nice detailed engine. It really is. It's got lots of components to it. I'm sitting here pretending to know what I'm looking at. I have absolutely no idea what half of this is. They are door handles. They're exterior door handles by the look of it as well for this car. Yes, see, I knew what something was. And they are too. Should be for the front and the rear. Front ones have got locks in. And then lots and lots and lots of these connectors and hose joints in that here. So again, go through, clean it all up, itemize it all, and then we will be onto subsections, clean everything up. Oh, this is going to take so long to build. I hope you're going to stick with me for this build. Don't forget, if you're a patron, you're going to get 2-week early access on the videos. So I do plan to try and document it as much as I possibly can. There's a few builds out there, but they don't seem to fully cover the aspects like I do in my videos, and that's fair enough. You know, it's up to you how you film your videos. But I've paid that much money for this. I want to make sure I get a good build out of it. So that is my plan. So there's one side of all the white metal bits. So let me zoom out. Here's the other. I'm going to have a quick drink. I don't normally drink on camera. My mouth is parched after 45 minutes of talking already. There we go. These look like more interesting bits. Whoa. There is our boot lid and bonnet. We'll whip them out in a minute. There's our exhaust system. Oh my god, there's a lot of parts to this thing. There really, really is. Wow. Each bag gets scarier and scarier as you go through. More roll cage, more door cards, oh my life. And then a big bag of braided hoses. Oh, I like them. That's white metal braided hose. Okay. I'm on the fence whether I like those or not. Now I can see why they've done it, because it's nice and malleable. Obviously you can bend it to whatever shape you want, but it is all textured like a braided hose should be. But you've got some cleanup on it because it's got a seam. You're going to lose some of the detail there. On the fence whether I like those, or whether I'll be replacing it with the Tamiya stuff, which would probably look better. To be honest, there's quite a lot of it in there, 3 different diameters. So I think that might be something I'll replace, just because, I mean, it looks alright, don't get me wrong, but I think a proper braided hose would look better. I really do. Let's start with the most interesting bits, which is the bonnet and the boot. Let's have a little look. So, got a boot lid. Oh my god, that's big. And that is a big chunk of white metal. That thing is. Holy smokeroo. And again, that's going to need a little bit of fettling to get it in place. But at the top the fit's not too bad. Up here is not bad. Needs a little bit of adjustment. Down here it needs a little bit lifting there, a little bit bending back, and then this needs bending in. But that's not too bad. That's pretty easily doable. That will just literally bend by hand. I'm not going to do it now. And then the bonnet, which is very, very heavy, will fit in like so with those wings. Now, not gonna lie, I kind of like to get those wings out and try them. Kind of a bit terrified too, so I think we're going to ignore that for now and pretend everything fits. Alright? Because I don't think they will. I got a sneaky suspicion. Oh, for God's sake, one of them is a hand. Son of a... Got to try it now, haven't I? Peer pressure that. I can hear you all going, go on Paul, try it. Okay. That's not that bad, is it? This was the one that didn't fit very well, isn't it? So like I said, I think the plan of this is to get it all assembled, tape it together, and then properly test fit everything. Yeah, I think all the holes need drilling. This is the way. They're not sitting in... It's not like bloody Mandalorian there, don't they? This is the way. I think they all need drilling to push them in a little bit more. See, that one's just clicked in place. But if you click the front in, the back one leaves a gap. So I think it's going to need a lot of fettling and a lot of messing around to get this stuff to fit properly. So it is something that's just going to take a lot of fine tuning to get it to fit in place, which is fair enough. That is what we've done. But the white metal is not bad. It's got that greasy feeling to it again. But that's fairly straight. That's not bad. This one is just going to need a little bit of fettling to get it to fit. So a little bit of gentle bending, what have you. To be honest, I don't think that'll be too difficult on the piece. It's a nice big piece. You got lots of white metal on there as well, so I don't think that'd be too difficult to do. He says, thinking, what have I bought? What have I gone and bought? Right, the last 2 bags of white metal. In here, we have a whole load of pipes and bits and bobs. So these are going to be exhaust, I'm going to assume. So nothing really remarkable to look at there. Although that one looks like a prop shaft. That's a drive shaft, centre drive shaft, prop shaft we call them. That's what that is. They're exhaust, I would say. Yeah, so there's all sorts there, and then we've got a fancy bit here. Got some nice detail on it. You see that seam running all the way through the middle. So you can have a lot of cleanup ahead here. We've got some anti-roll bars by the look of it. Suspension components. Bits. I don't know what they are. I really don't. Another fire extinguisher, or probably is a fire extinguisher. The other ones weren't. There's our accelerator pedal. Oh, there we go. So again, nice little touch. We've got looks like that's got to be an expansion tank water. There, it looks just like one. Has to be. Really does. And lots of other bits. Like I say, I don't know the ins and outs of my cars that well to say this is a such and such valve, but I can just look at them and go, yeah, they're going to need a lot of work, a lot of cleanup, and a lot of work to get them all cleaned up and looking well. But for the most part, they're actually terrifying. I'm not going to lie. They are utterly, utterly terrifying. This is definitely not your beginner's kit. This is definitely for a advanced modeler. So why the hell I have bought one, I honestly do not know. But we're going to mash our way through it, pretending we know what we're doing, making stuff up along the way. Basically what I do on a day-to-day basis. In the vain hope that one day it may vaguely resemble a 1980s Lancia Delta Integrale Evo rally car. That's the plan. Whether that works out to be like that is a different matter of fact. But all I can do is try, isn't it? All we can do is try our best and enjoy the process along the way. Right, last bag of white metal, thank God, because I'm sick of handling this stuff. It's horrible to handle. Now in here we've got more bits. They must be the side of the roll cage for the doors. They have to be. More roll cage, more roll cage. We've got some vents. Here, let me zoom in a touch. I really need to itch my eye, but I don't want to itch it with the white metal spin on my fingers. There we go, got some little vents there as well. I think they are still door cards. These are the vents for the rear C-pillars as well. So again, there's our window surrounds. Oh, they're nice and straight. Look at that. Yee. Great fun. So yeah, there's going to be a bit of a lot of test fitting. It really is a lot of test fitting to do it. Door cards are there as well. Again, really nice and straight, as you can see. And then lots of other bits. Is that our gator for our gear shifter? It looks like it. Does that looks like it? And I think these are more door card bits. So lots of terrifying bits in there. A lot of it's going to need straightening. So we're definitely going to be testing our skills with this one. 100%. This is going to be a long-term build. I hate to think, as a full video build, how many this is going to take me. This is going to be 20, 30 video build parts easily over the next year. Dare I set a timeline and say a year? This is going to take a lot of time, patience, commitment, swear words, patience. Did I mention patience? More patience. I've probably seen a doctor who's got loads of patience for the madness I've got from building a bloody thing. But like I say, it's definitely going to be a test of my modelling skills, that is for sure. Not only in the resin, but the white metal, all the multimedia. And we've not even gone through the multimedia proper bag yet. We've looked at the resin and the rubber parts and the turn metal. We've got all this to go through next. We've got a whole bag full of bits here. Here we go. I haven't even looked in this bag at all, so I've got no idea what's in here, but holy smokes, there's some stuff. Right, we've got a little bag with 2 clear plastic bits. I'm guessing they're lenses or something for something or other. We've got some turn metal parts. Now, I am not going to open all these. I absolutely refuse to. So, we have, I'm going to zoom in a touch. We've got some magnets in there. A spring in there. We've got the antenna mount for the roof there. And lots of 10 little parts, which I am guessing are for headlights in there. Very nice. We'll have a proper look at these when we come to build it. In this bag, we have suspension springs. Lots and lots of little screws. Not a huge amount, but enough. Of all varying sizes and some nuts as well. So we could get all this out, but we're not going to. I'm certainly not opening these bags. We have some rubber components. I'm not even sure what they are. I can't quite tell. 8 of them, don't know. We've got some ducting there in rubber as well, which is very nice. And then I'm guessing, I've got no idea what they are. Are they to do with the windows? Don't know. We've got some rubbery bits there as well. So I refuse to open these. I know it's a review. We'll open these as we get into the build, because if I open these, I'm going to lose all the bits, and I do not plan on doing that. But yeah, got some nice strong magnets in there. We've got some brass and looks like nickel wire in there as well. Okay, nothing really spectacular to look at, but it's there. In here we have a whole load of rivets. So these are going to be for the doors and any workable parts, I'm going to guess. A whole different range of sizes in there, as you can see. Lots and lots and lots. So these will all need taken out and sorted into a container and all their retrospective sizes. In here we have some heat shrink. Luckily I have a whole load of anyway. Some clear plastic tubing of some description. No idea what that is. We've got some very strange textured rubbery hose type stuff there. Got a big length of heat shrink, which I got tons of anyway. And three different types of wire. So silver one, slightly thicker black one, and a thinner gauge black one as well. So they're going to be for all your wiring. And again, I've got tons of this stuff separate. So if I find anyone that could be added, I will. I need to find good reference to this car. If anyone knows of any books, websites with walkarounds of these cars, please, please, please let me know. Because I need some inspiration and some reference material for building this. Because, yes, this is going to be immense. Seatbelts, not going to open it. We've got some double-sided tape in there. We've got some seatbelt harness material, which is 4mm, which is bang on for 12 scale. I remember measuring that for the 12 scale Skyline, and some slightly thinner. Is it thinner? No, it looks the same in yellow as well. So there's the rubber material for your seatbelt. And then here we've got all the clear, wow, resin parts. They are pretty. Look at them. Just look at them. Yeah. They are nice little clear resin parts. A little bit opaque, but very smart. And then we've got the rear light lenses. Unmistakably the rear light lenses off a Mitsubishi Evolution, Lancia, sorry. Front indicators, front drive lights are the headlight covers. And again, resin clear parts can always be a bit hit and miss, and they are lovely. They are really nice. So no problems there. And then we've got some, I'm going to guess they're headlight bulbs, are they? Look like it. It's 4 of them, so I'm going to guess that they are. So very, very, very nice. So there's our little bag of goodies there. So you do get everything to build the kit. I know it's an expensive kit. But for the most part, you know, even the braided hoses, which are white metal, and I think I probably will replace, you could still quite happily use and would look okay. So there's everything in the box to do the kit justice. But, you know, if you feel you can add anything to add detail to it or substance to it as such, then go ahead and add it. But a nice little bag of bits and bobs in there and treats. And then that's it. There's all the parts gone through. the last thing is our little folder of goodies. So we got some photo etch, which is a beautiful, beautiful photo etch. I'm gonna try and slice it so I can get it out and put it back in. Oh yeah, that is pretty, pretty photo etch. Look at that. That's like a work of art. Look at that. So we've got all our grills, seatbelt parts. Absolutely stunning photo etch. That is a thing of beauty right there. Very, very, very nice. All sorts of stuff on there. Seatbelt harnesses, grills, the lot. And what else we got? Oh, very, very nice. We've got headlights around. We've got cable ties over here. I'm trying to get the light to shine. Cable ties here. Or, you know, hose clamps, whatever you want to call them. Headlights around, grills. Center grills for the got the front, the rally plate. Nice mesh. Lovely, lovely photo etch. Very, very, very high quality. Absolutely stunning. Trying to get it in shot for you to show you properly. Very, very pretty. So two very, very nice frets of photo etch. So they're not as terrifying as the rest of the kit. The rest of the kit is, I'm going to say. So if you're thinking of getting one of these, then hopefully this will help make your mind up. Whether you stay sane and buy 10 24 scale kits instead with a bit of aftermarket, or you just bite the bullet, jump in and think, sod it, you know what, I'm going to buy one. So in here, we've got some clear parts again. I'm not going to get them out. We will get this one out. We're going to leave the clear parts in there. So the clear parts in there is the fuse board, fuse box, inlay, you can see. Heated rear screen for the rear screen. And another part there that I can't tell what that's for. But it's for something. And in here, I'm very carefully open it. We'll have a little look. We've got some Delta UV print cable ties. Look at those cable ties. Wow. You see those things? And they're 3D. They are 3D. Amazing. We've got clear ones, black ones. That is going to be your auxiliary belt. There's two of them by the look of it. Very, very cool. Those cable ties are awesome. I like those. Really, really neat. Here we've got some material for the mud flaps. So I'm shooting the 4 anyway. And then we've got the very, very cool 80s style interior door cards, which are made of like a felt. How cool are they? That just screams 80s car interior, doesn't it? Very, very, very cool. I like that. That's a nice little touch. So they're going to look good on basically a very sparse and barren interior. Just that little splash of colour, obviously from the road car. So that's pretty cool as well. What else have we got in here? In here we have the decals and our instructions, and that's it. We are through them all. Now, I've heard the decals are okay from Manufacturer Hiro, but I think they're a little bit fragile. So again, a bit of a worrying part this, but hoping they will actually be okay. But we'll see. So let's have a look at the sponsorship ones first. Well, they're definitely thin. I can tell that. Got a little bit of like the cornstarch adhesive crap on the top of it. See it there? Look, when you look on here. Got a bit of carbon there as well. All the sponsorship stuff's there. For Yuha Kanken and Didier Auriel. Other than the slight kind of texture of the stickiness of the adhesive on there, decals look good, and they are speed lines. Like I said, the wheels are speed lines. No, I knew they were. Got your rally plates, sponsorship logos, a lot. Very, very nice. They do look like good decals. From what I've heard, they're okay. It's still going to be quite a worrying part to do, but hey, what are you going to do? And then the main decals of that beautiful martini scheme. We've got some big decals here. That is for sure. They've got some pretty complex areas to get over. And again, they look alright. They're nice and thin. Not too bad at all. But for me, that martini scheme is one of the most iconic rally car liveries, race car liveries, full stop, ever for me. It's an absolutely fantastic scheme of just an iconic rally car. It really is nice. It's such a shame they are banned now. It really is. I understand the whole promoting alcohol and tobacco and what have you, but for me, it's like a little bit of racing lost to a degree, because it just loses some of that cool, just a cool liveries for me. I know it sounds a bit mad. If you don't get what I'm on about, then you don't get it. But I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that agree with me, and that it kind of lost its way a little bit, losing some of the sponsorships. Because for me, it's quite often. I mean, look at the Gulf Aventador I just did. You know, it's an Aventador, blah blah blah. It's awesome, but the fact it's a Gulf Aventador makes it even more awesome, and that's the way it goes with these. There's a few different schemes for the Lancia Delta, an SO1 gold and black and what have you, and they look cool, but they're just not this scheme, and this is the scheme that does it for me, and this is the scheme I enjoyed looking at as a child. But I do understand the world changes, obviously not always for the best. It is what it is at the end of the day. Right then, instructions. All in Japanese. Oh, it's not. We've got some in English as well. There we go. Please try temporarily constructing the kit before applying any adhesives. That's probably the most important advice of this build. Metal parts may be slightly out of shape. You're not wrong there, buddy. You can restore the shape by carefully bending the part. Take caution of exerting the part will cause it to snap. You can change the shape of the resin casting by applying heat. Oh my god, I'm terrified of doing that. Clean resin parts. Use release agents for applying colour. Use super glue or epoxy resin when building the kit. We'll probably go with super glue. Protect decals by keeping them in there. An UV printer. Please note, sheet may break up, snap, too much force exerted, or a band is completely twisted, pulled upon. And then all the turn parts are there, listed. And all the screws and what have you are there. And there's the colour table. So, quite a basic colour table for you to look at. But hey ho. Now what I'm looking for, what I was hoping for, is a part count. And there isn't one. Oh no. So I'm going to have to go through all the instructions. These are going to get photocopied, because I'm not ruining these. And I'm going to have to go through and mark off every single part of these. Fantabulous. Yeah. I'm going to need to photocopy them and use my highlighter and go through and mark off everything. But the instructions are beautiful. They really are nice. I'll come in a second and have a little bit of a closer look. But they're nice and clear and concise. And to be honest, it's not very often I look at an engine and think, do you know what? I really want to build that first. But look at this engine. I really want to build it first. I'm not going to lie. So, I think to get the ball rolled in and the juices flowing and a little bit of passion for it, I think I will start with the engine on this. And we'll get that going. And then we'll pick at the bodywork while we're working on everything else. Because we're not going to need the bodywork for a while. We're going to need the floor pan, which isn't an issue. That should just be painted white. Because we don't need the bodywork till step 13, really. That's when the shit's really going to hit the fan. But the instructions are beautiful. Let me just, I'm going to bring you up just so you can see. Very, very clear, very concise. Obviously the camera's white balance is going a bit mad because it's white. But that's nice and easy to follow, isn't it? Really, really good instructions. This is going to be a highly detailed engine. There's our auxiliary drive belts. So that's what we saw on the 3D, the UV printed parts around all those white metal pulleys we saw earlier. Yeah, we've got the rear differential there, its housing. Oh, this is going to be such an epic build. Epic build. As well as terrifying. And very in-depth. So we start off the engine, move on to the transmission, all the auxiliary parts, we're onto the chassis, which is here. So that's probably the first body part that will get painted up, and that's just in gloss white. We'll do that. Quite a lot of parts are screwed in place. We can see that. Onto the fuel tanks. Then onto the suspension, the brakes and what have you as well. Interior parts. That wasn't a gator, so that wasn't a gator for the gear selector. That was that. What was the part? I didn't know what it was. I forget what it was now. Where's that come? Let's have a look for that. Roll cage, our extinguishers, so on and so forth. We're going to drill some holes in the body. You've got all specific dimensions of where to drill them, so that's good. Roll cage is in sections. We've got a spare wheel. More roll cage. Our seats there as well. Seat belts assembling those. Onto the interior, getting the seats in, the seat belts in. Then this is where things step up a notch. Look at that. Look at the dashboard on that. If you're a fan of Twin Town, you know what I mean. Ah, that's for the roof. Ah, there must be vents. I see. That's the part we wonder what it was. Look. That piece. Looks like a Tetris piece. Goes on the roof. It's got the vents in. I got you. Getting the inner bulkhead in and what have you. Front sections there. The dashboard. Look at that. How cool is that? It's got a little tiny CB radio. Look at that. See it there? How cool is that there? Right there. I like that. That's a busy dashboard, so that's going to look really, really cool. Obviously, that fits in there. We've got a steering rack. That's what those are. The pointy bits are steering racks. All our pedals. Those beautiful UV, so those beautiful clear resin parts before were all for the brake reservoirs and clutch. I don't know. Do they have a hydraulic clutch? I'm not sure. We've got this here. I'm not sure what that is. Fuel pump? Not sure. Ah, okay. So the windscreen actually has a rubber seal. That's what those black rubber seals are. So you cut it out, pop it in, and it seals in place. That is very, very cool. I like that. That is very, very cool indeed. And then getting our rear hatch in place with the rear window. Again, the rear window has a rubber surround on it too. I'm just looking for the mechanism. Ah, okay, it's nice and simple. I see there, a little black screw holding. Okay, that's to open it up. The doors I'm going to be interested in to see how the doors go together. And then onto our doors. So obviously we've got the rear arch there with the door frame on there to go in the back. With the window in. Oh my god. There's the engine going in place at the top. You can see that there. Suspension, drive shaft, strut top. Wow, the suspension's all in one piece. That is very cool. A-bars, anti-roll bars. There's the brakes going in place. There's the air filter box with the MAF. Wow, this engine's going to look immense. And then we've got the radiator, intercooler. Wow. And then there's all the wiring for the engine as well. That is going to be very, very cool. Rear bumper in place, rear lights held in with rivets. Wow, that's pretty immense. And then we've got our drive shafts, prop shafts, I call them. So that goes in the transmission tunnel. There's our exhaust, got the front bumper. There's that bit. It's a intake. That's that rubber hose. So it must be. Don't know where that's off to. Where is that thing off to? I can't quite tell where it's going. going somewhere though. And then we've got our skid plates underneath. Door cards are in several pieces here. Look at that. So for the door cards, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12, 13 parts for the door cards. Wow, the doors. Nice mirrors are there as well. The door handles you saw earlier, the side skirts. We have to do a lot of test fitting on this. We really are. We've already said this. All the inner parts to the bonnet. Hinges to the bonnet as well. The grille. Yeah, the grille looks interesting, doesn't it? It doesn't look as bad as Jamie's Alpha 155 one that was driving him nuts yesterday. There's still plenty of PE in there. That doesn't look too bad to do. And then the window wipers, or windy wipers, sorry. Mud flaps, rear spoiler, the antenna, the roof scoop vent. Wheels, this side faces outward. Okay. Making up our wheels, attaching the wheels, which is screwed in place. Put the brake turbine cooler thingies on. And there we go. There's our iconic looking car. Wow. What a kit. That is equally awe-inspiring and terrifying at exactly the same time. Anyway, let's go back to me with some final thoughts. Okay then, there we are. So I think that's a combined hour and a half plus review. It's the longest review I've ever done. Huge. Opinions? What the hell have I done? Mr. Jamie B, you've got a lot to answer for here, buddy. You're a bad influence. What have I let myself in for with this? This is going to be a hell of a build. It really is going to be an interesting build. Terrifying, probably frustrating along the way. But wow, what a kit. I mean, there's so much in there. Just white metal alone, resin. It's a proper, true multimedia kit. And I'm not going to lie, I am equally terrified and eager to start this thing. So, yes, there we are. So, I'm starting the BMW 50. Once that's to clear coat, which won't be long at all, I'm going to start this. And I think we'll start with the engine, like I said in the review, and try and get a little bit of interest in the build. Just show a little bit of progress first. Then we'll start picking up the body. The body's going to take quite a lot of work. We've got a lot of areas that meet each other and whatnot that are going to need a lot of work to make sure they all close up. We've got bonnet, 2 doors, the rear doors, the 2 front doors open, the boot lid, all the bumpers, the side skirt, all to ensure they all fit. But the review is the first thing on this. Then I'm going to photocopy those instructions because I don't want to destroy my original instructions, and itemize all the parts, make sure I get everything. Then I'm going to sit and clean everything, and then I'm going to break the parts down into sub-assemblies I want to work on. So I will break down all the engine, transmission, brakes, differential, things like the dashboard that's quite busy into subsections, seats, fuel tanks, just anything that's a major component and going to take a lot of work. We're going to break all that down to sub-assemblies, and that's how we're going to work through this. This is going to be an immense video build. I want to make it more in depth than others already out there, hopefully. Hopefully my modelling skills can do this justice. Yeah, I could have bought 10 really nice kits for the money I paid for this, with a bit of aftermarket in them as well. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's very intimidating and daunting to do, but it's one of the most iconic rally cars for me. It really is. I had an RC car, one of these. It looked great until I rolled it. And obviously, huge fan of Sega Rally, or the arcade game. Love that. And this was the car I always chose. At the Celica GT4 and the Lancia. Always the Lancia. Always the most iconic car for me. So I'm looking forward to doing this one. And if it builds okay, maybe in 2 years when I finish this one, I can buy another and we'll build another. We'll see. But this is what you call throwing yourself into the deep end. It really is. And I am honestly looking forward to starting it as well. So if you're thinking of getting one, I hope that's helped make your mind up, yay or nay. If not, stick around for the build where there's lots of swearing, frustrations, and then probably moments of sheer joy where things look great and self-gratitude and yeah, things like that. I don't know. It's going to be a weird one, this, so you're going to have to stick around with this one. And if you're watching first time, make sure you sub to the channel. If you'd like to support this and future builds, there's a Patreon down below. PayPal me and buy me a coffee. And please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And my question for today is, number one, did you watch all the video? Because it's a long one. Did I hold your attention the whole way through? And number two, what is your most iconic, double barrel question, most iconic race car, i.e. Lancia Delta, Sierra Cosworth, Escort Cosworth, and your favourite livery scheme for it? I've got loads, but the two that do it for me the most is the Texaco Sierra and this, the Martini Lancia Delta. They're the two that do it for me the most. So what are yours? Let me know down below. But if you're new to the channel, make sure you sub, click the bell notification, and give the video a thumbs up. And there we are. Very lengthy review. Sorry it's so long. Did say I was going to be thorough. I think I have been quite thorough. And I look forward to starting part one of this. So insert Steve Carroll face right now. There you go. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Make sure you click all the links down below. All the social medias there for ISM, where you'll see in progress pictures of this. Pictures, one American then, along the way, as well as everything ISM UMP related is all linked down below. As well as my other channel where I stream daily. And if you watch that when I'm building this, you'll see live builds of it and live swearing and frustration at the kit. So well worth subbing to my other channel as well. There we are. I'm going to go. Enjoy the rest of the day, everyone. Thanks for watching. Hope you stuck with it. Take care. Bye-bye.